Hi, so today we're going to look at sequences and the nth term. Let's first start with what a sequence is. A sequence is a set of numbers written in a particular order. Y'all have probably seen this where they're typically just a list of numbers written with commas in between them, and the typical question that y'all have probably faced up till now is, what is the next number in the sequence, or what is the fifth number in the sequence? However, what we're going to be looking at today is instead of looking at what the next number is, we're going to be looking at why is the next number what it is. What kind of expression can I use to find what that nth term is? So, excuse me. You're going to be seeing a lot of tables. You're going to be seeing tables that are vertical and horizontal. Either way, it does not matter. What matters is that you understand what these tables look like and why. In the table, the first column or row is going to be representing the input or the x value. That's going to be the number that you place in the expression. The second column or second row, depending on if it's a horizontal or vertical table, is going to be representing the output or the y value. And what that means is, what do you get after you've done the expression with that input? And this will make probably a lot more sense once we actually do the example that we're going to work on today. Just remember that you're not actually just finding the next number in a simple sequence. What you're looking at is you're trying to find the relationship of x to y, or of the input into the output, or from the, what's another way to say it, from the position into the value. So we're not just looking at what is the sequence, we're actually going to be looking at what is the value of that sequence. And I think the best way to do that is by actually doing the example together. And we're doing one example together. So here it asks for which equation best describes the relationship between x and y in the table. So let's take a look here. Like I had said, this is going to be representing the input, okay, what you're going to plug into. These numbers, this is showing you the output, okay, what you get out when you plug in the input. And one of these expressions, A, B, C, or D, is going to be telling us what we do to x to get y. Not just what's the next number in the sequence, but why is that the next number in the sequence. And the way we're going to do that is by actually plugging in our x and y's into our multiple choice selection until we find the right one that gives us the correct outputs. So let's go ahead and get started here. All right. So in this first one, I have y equals 3x plus 5. So let's try this first one. If I were to plug in my first value, which is 0, into that equation, so that'd be 3 times 0 plus 5. And let's actually work that out. Well, 3 times 0 is 0, plus 5 is 5. Well, that's what it said I should get, so I'm going to keep moving along. The next number is 6, so I'm going to plug in a 6 now. 3 times 6 plus 5. Well, 3 times 6 is 18, and 18 plus 5 is 23. Look at your output. My output when I plug in a 6 is supposed to be a 7. That tells me this is not the correct solution. So I'm going to go ahead and eliminate that. And I'm going to, just for lack of room, I'm going to need to erase, and let's move on to the next equation. And once you've eliminated it, that's as far as you need to go. So my next equation is 1/5 x plus 3. So let's plug in the first one. 1/5 x times 0 plus 3. Well, 1/5 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 3 is 3. Take a look at your output. Your output said I should get 5. That tells me this is also not my correct equation. So let's move on to the third one. The third one tells me I'm going to do 1/3 x plus 5. So let's plug that in. 1/3 x, which is 0, plus 5. Well, 1/3 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 5 is 5. That's the correct output. Let's move on to the next one. 1/3 times 6 plus, plus 5. I was looking at the wrong one, plus 5. Well, 1/3 times 6 is 2, and 2 plus 5 is 7. That's supposed to be the right one. So we're going to move on to the next one. 1/3 times 12 plus 5. Well, 1/3 times 12 is 4. 4 plus 5 is 9. That's the right output. Let's try this last one. 1/3 times 15 plus 5. Well, 1/3 times 15 is 5, and 5 plus 5 is 10. That is also the correct output. Since I got the correct output for every single one, I now know that C is my correct choice. And if you wanted to, you could keep going and checking D just to make sure. For example, and since this is such an easy one, let's just do this in our head. X plus 5, we'll plug in 0. 0 plus 5 is 5. That one works. Let's plug in the next one, which is 6. 6 plus 5 is 11. I'm supposed to get 7 there, so we definitely know we have the correct answer, which is C. So it's about plugging in and then go ahead and getting the correct output. So just take your time. You'll want to check every single one of them, because sometimes what you'll see is it might work for the first 3, and then when you get to the 4th one, it won't work. And if you don't do the 4th one, if you stop after the first 3, you're going to see that you have the wrong answer. So go through all of them. Make sure you have the correct answer choice. Good luck.